Should you run fasted? Well, the short answer is sometimes. Long answer is that it depends. It depends on the session. It depends on your goals. It depends on your energy availability. Sometimes it even depends on your sex. And today, I'm going to give you a simple rule that you can use tomorrow. The science in some one-liners and a 4-week test plan that is hopefully not going to torpedo your key workouts, because that is the important bit here. First of all, I am Nick Hancock. I'm from Maximum Mileage Coaching. I'm a USCA ultra running coach, a UK athletics licensed coach, a sub-3 marathoner, and a competitive ultra runner. And I help busy athletes like you hit PRs without destroying yourself or getting a divorce. So the real question isn't fasted or fed. It's what am I trying to adapt to today? And what is the lowest cost way to get it? Because fueling is a training tool. If you use it badly, then you may blunt adaptations or fry your recovery or get ill or injured. Use it well and you can get fitter without feeling like you're dragging a fridge round on your long runs. So number one, decide by the session type and duration. This is your easy win. Fasted running can be perfectly fine for short, easy sessions. It's quick, it's convenient, and yes, you'll burn some more fat during the run, but for anything long or hard or performance-related race day, those performance and adaptations are usually better with carbs on board. There are many studies, but I remember one specific meta-analysis that shows pre-exercise feeding improves prolonged endurance performance versus fasted. The fat-burning effect of fasted is real acutely, but that doesn't automatically mean more fat loss overall. So you can use this today. I've done it myself today, actually. 60 minutes, less than 60 minutes, true zone 1, low zone 2. The exercise I did, the session I did today was 60 minutes of easy running, very much low zone 2 on the treadmill. I did that fasted, as in I hadn't eaten this morning. All I'd had was my coffee. Fasted is fine if you ate normally last night and you feel good for it. I did. I had 3 wraps last night, so plenty of carbohydrates in my food, and I felt good for it. So I decided that that was a good opportunity to do a fasted run. Anything more than 60 minutes, 75 minutes, 90 minutes or more, or any quality sessions like your tempos, your thresholds, your hills, your VO2 max, that kind of stuff, eat first. Even a small carb hit is going to help you do more quality work and recover faster. Why? Why does it make you do better work? Why does it get you to recover faster? Carbohydrates before and during exercise work is consistently ergogenic. It supports higher power output. It supports a better pace, and it preserves the signals that build the engine that you actually race with. Here's a little quick puzzle for you. If the goal is to hold marathon pace later this month, what matters more? Burning a little bit of fat at 6 o'clock in the morning or nailing that Tuesday threshold session? Number 2, fuel the work that matters. This is your big lever, or fuel for the adaptations that you're looking for. You adapt to the sessions that you execute well. Carbs let you do more quality minutes near your thresholds and in your VO2 max ranges. This is the stuff that moves the needle in a shorter space of time. Fasted training can increase fat oxidation, but when we periodize carbs sensibly, we see much better performance consistency, much better control over the stress hormones and lower stress hormones that spike during that hard work. So try this on your quality or your long days, both really. Pre-run, ingest 1 to 4 grams per kilogram of carbohydrate in that 1 to 4 hour pre-session window, if time allows. If you are out the door in, needing to be out the door and you got to get something in, within 20, 30 minutes of waking up, then a quick 30 to 60 gram carb hit, a banana, a gel, a sports drink, a little bit of a mix of both is absolutely enough. You do not need to do a full, massive breakfast. During the session, we want to be thinking around 30 all the way up to 90 grams of carbohydrate per hour, depending on the intensity, depending on the duration. You want to be closer to 60 to 90 grams per hour for long or race-specific sessions. So not only are you fueling the work, but you're also getting your gut trained too. Which is a nice segue to my next point. Practice your fueling weekly to cut those GI issues and improve absorption. Tolerating carbohydrate is not the same as absorbing carbohydrate. This is a skill. This is something that we need to learn. This is something that we need to train. Our gut can be trained just the same as our muscles and our heart. So number 3, can fasted running be strategic? Yes, but we've got to be precise. The train low family, so training fasted, sleeping low, or low glycogen doubles, these can upregulate fat oxidation enzymes and some mitochondrial signaling, which sounds great, but performance benefits are going to be mixed unless you periodize carefully and you still fuel those key sessions. There are reviews that show carbohydrate restriction strategies change our physiology, yet they don't reliably beat well-fueled training for race performance in trained endurance athletes. So how can you do this yourself without breaking yourself? First of all, keep it to 1, 2 at the absolute max low carbohydrate sessions per week. Make them short and easy, less than 60 minutes. Or if it's a post-evening session, so let's say you've got in from work, you've got to get your Tuesday threshold session in, sleep low. Now, what that means is you do your session, and then once you've done your session, you refuel, you eat your food, you eat your dinner before you go to bed, but keep the carbohydrates low. Protein high, fats moderate, keep your carbohydrates low, and then the next morning you do an easy run, fasted. But you never do this the day before your hardest workout. Don't do one hard the night before and then do a hard one the next day. Rule of hard, easy, hard anyway. But that is the sleep low strategy. Make sure you separate your low carbohydrate sessions from your quality work by 24 to 36 hours. You need to be refueling and replenishing your glycogen stores before you do your quality sessions. If your quality or long run execution dips, drop the low carbohydrate experiment. It's obviously not working. Just forget about it. Think about it this way. If a fat max hack steals the consistency from the sessions that are actually building your race speed, is it actually any kind of hack? No. Number 4, health first. So who shouldn't run fasted, or at least be very cautious? Fasted and or chronically low carb availability can push you towards something called low energy availability and relative energy deficiency in sport, or RED-S, or REDS as it's more commonly known. This can implicate things like impaired hormones, which is particularly not very good for women, bone health, mood, and performance in the actual running itself, and men, performance in bed too. This isn't just women, it is men too. I've been there before. If you are waking up in the morning and you don't have an erection, then it might mean that you are in a relative energy deficiency. And if you are, then just cut the experiment, get back to eating. Morning fasted runs are sometimes actually a common unintentional trigger. We live busy lives. We've got kids, we've got work, we've got to get up. Oh, quick, I've got to get my session in. Oh, I've got time to eat. I've got to get the session in. I know what it's like. I've been there before. So we'll train. And then because we're in a bit of a rush, we forget that, we need to refuel afterwards. And then we get slammed by, the kids being dickheads or work slamming you, and suddenly you've underfueled half the day. You've gotten to lunchtime. Oh shit, I haven't eaten yet today. The 2023 International Olympic Committee consensus is crystal clear that Red S is a health and performance syndrome, and prevention beats cure. Be extra conservative if you are a female with a history of menstrual disruption or low energy availability, or you are in that time of life of menopause symptoms. Avoid if you've had bone stress injuries, low mood or energy or disordered eating history. Avoid if you are starting to ramp up your volume. This is something to do early on where your overall training volume isn't huge. If you are up in the absolute depths of marathon training, you're talking about that 12-week period before a marathon or ultramarathon, this is not the time to be running fasted. You need those calories. And the other time not to do it is during a calorie deficit already. Ideally, another time not to do it is if you live a high stress life. And I know we all do. Hello, parents with careers. You're already under stress. Don't give your body more stress by not feeding it. If in doubt, just fuel. And if you really want to try this, I would highly recommend looping in a qualified sports dietitian or a coach that can help you. Let's go through a few just myth checks for a second. So number one, I hear it all the time. We left this in the bro science world way back when. Fasted training burns more fat. So I'll lose fat faster, right? Well, there is an acute fat oxidation increase in fasted exercise, but body composition changes depend on total energy balance over days and weeks, vis-a-vis calories in, calories out. Plenty of people just end up overcompensating later. Myth number two, fasted gives better endurance adaptations. Sometimes you'll see signaling changes. Performance benefits are inconsistent compared with fueled training done really well. Even proponents of the low-carb keto movements, such as Zach Bitter, even he is introducing more carbohydrates back into his diet. Another myth, my stomach hates carbs or gels. I am better off running without anything. It's more likely that your gut is undertrained or not trained at all. And gradual gut training reduces those gastrointestinal issues and it improves carbohydrate intolerance. You need to practice it. And if you want to practice it, at the end of the video, I will give you the link to a gut training video that I've actually already done. So here is a simple 4-week experiment, relatively safe, evidence aware. The goal is to find the minimum fueling that keeps your quality high and your recovery on point. The rules of engagement are keep 2 sessions per week fueled. 3 if you do 2, when I say sessions, if you do 2 speed work type sessions, intervals, tempos, steady state, that kind of stuff, keep those fueled. If you then also do a long run too, then that is your 3rd one. So keep those fueled. Eat beforehand, fuel on the go. Limit your fasted to 1 short run, easy one, in week 1 and 2. At the most, 2 by week 3, 4, if you are all green, all feeling good. Track everything. If you use something like Training Peaks or Strava or a diary, whatever it might be, track things. What's your waking mood like? What was the rating of perceived exertion? How hard did the session feel? Is there any heart rate drift if you wear a heart rate monitor? What's your quality session execution like? And what is your end of day hunger like too? These are all things that you can monitor. And if any of those don't seem like they're in the right place, then it could be as a result of you not fueling those sessions. So here's a few little quick practical what to eat when you do fuel. If you are needing to be out the door super quick, 30 to 60 grams of fast carbs, half a banana, some sports drink, or a slice of white toast with honey or jam. at the absolute minimum. Just hit a gel. Just take a gel. It's fine. It's not a problem. Take that gel. If you've got a bit of time, then get a decent breakfast in you, low fiber, high carbohydrate. Keep the fiber down because you don't want all the fiber bouncing around in your gut. During the run, 30 to 90 grams of carbohydrate per hour. Train up towards your race target and make sure you are hydrating to sip those fluids to thirst as well. Afterwards, 20 to 40 grams of protein and then 1 to 1.2 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram of body weight. That needs to happen in the first hour. You hear a lot about get your protein in. It's the carbs that we need. We're endurance runners. Get those carbs in as well as your protein, especially if you're going to be training again within the next 24 hours. Just a little tip. If 10 minutes of prep the night before lets you complete 15 to 20 minutes more of that quality work or just get a better session, what is that worth over the course of a whole training block? So if you want this kind of approach woven into your training with your paces, your life stress, your race days, everything that you want to achieve, all of that accounted for, drop a coaching inquiry to us at Maximum Mileage Coaching. You've got myself, we've got the fantastic Faye, the fantastic Hannah, and the rest of the team, and we will get you sorted. If nutrition is a sticking point for you, my ultimate cookbooks for runners on Amazon, it makes fueling really easy. I spent 20 years working in hospitality, so I've taken a real kind of foodie approach, but made them simple recipes, some delicious recipes, if I do say so myself, that all the family can eat, but they will fuel your training. So back onto the subject, red flags: stop fasted, fuel up, and or seek help if you are experiencing things like persistently low morning energy, you are just generally irritable, sleep is poor, you find that you are yawning a lot. That was a massive red flag for me. If your performance is declining, your injury rate is increasing, those are big red flags. Women, if your cycles change, you've got menstrual disturbances, huge red flag for you. If you've got a history of eating disorders or current disordered eating, all of these things are not willpower problems or just what happens. They are low energy availability problems. Prioritize your health and the performance will follow. So a simple rule that you can leave with: fuel the work that matters. Fuel for the adaptations that you are looking for. Fasted training is optional on short, easy days. If in doubt, eat. Running fasted will only make a very marginal difference anyway. It is not a game changer. And I mentioned it earlier, if you want a companion video that shows you exactly how to train that gut, if you say, oh, I can't hack gels or I can't eat beforehand, then this video is for you. Go check it out, and I'll see you in the next one. And make sure you subscribe too. It really helps.